So today I'm going to show you one of the many ways to brew some delicious coffee with the AeroPress. This is actually my favorite go-to. So that's the recipe and everything I'm going to show you today. I've weighed out my beans, 20 grams of beans. We're going to do the inverted method, and it all kind of will make sense when we kind of go through it. So I'm going to pre-wash my water filter with some water that I boiled for 96
centigrade.
Oh, nice. Of water, of temperature.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So this is also because I'm going to pre-warm the vessel that I'm going to kind of brew into. But first, of course, we're going to grind. So the grind setting on, if you've got one of those, you go all the way to the tightest and 3 back. Because we're actually going to grind quite fine, like you can see here. Because we're going to do kind of a condensed version of this coffee. We've got the Ethiopian washed coffee. And right, I'm just going to get grinding basically. So that shouldn't take too long. Bear with me, it'll look like that on the finish. So 20 grams of freshly ground coffee.
And while Elizabeth's grinding that, just give you a quick little view of our little office and roasting room. This is where we do a lot of the packing, admin, keep everything, you know, flowing and in check. There's Sam. Sam's having a whale of a time. Yep.
I'm still at it, Cephas, but I'm almost there.
This is our second space apart from the roastery, in case you haven't seen it on our socials yet. Wow.
Almost at the end. I wouldn't say you need muscles for it, but you need a nice movement. Actually, these Ethiopian beans are quite hard beans. They're very dense beans, high altitude beans, give you a lot of flavour.
So tell us about the beans themselves.
Yeah, so they're washed Ethiopian beans, high altitude. They have a delicious fragrance to it. They, what can I tell you? Ethiopians are one of my favorites. So African beans, the origin of coffee itself, of the Arabica. Here it is. I'm done. So in this bottom chamber, you've got all the ground coffee. Okay, as fine as this. Now, I've got scales. Scales are important because we're working with a recipe. So if you want to replicate a recipe, you need to know what you're doing. So we have scales that tell you how much coffee to water. So as I said, the inverted method, we got...
And what's the ratio?
Grams. So the ratio is 1 gram of coffee, of ground coffee, to 5 milliliters or grams of water. So I said the water is at 96. So we got the scales, we tare it, and you need a timer. Because the other crucial thing is how long are you actually going to brew this. So we got a timer, and now I'm going to go and just do 100 milliliters, or 100 grams. There we go. And then the important thing is that you actually stir it. So you can take it off the scales and just give it really a good stir. So this is the stirrer that comes with the AeroPress, because all the beans, ground beans, need to be saturated and in contact with water. So don't be too afraid to just give it a really well agitated stir. Then this is the filter that I've rinsed. That goes on top. And you push it down just a little bit until you actually see all the air has gone out and until you see a little bit of the coffee fluid coming through. Okay, here we go. Now, this contraption is very useful. It took me a while to find out what it's for. If you put that on top like that, just going to discard that water. Because we're doing the inverted method. So you got to just put that on top. That's the vessel you're going to brew into. And then turn it around. And now it looks like your normal AeroPress. We're going to go for 1 minute 35 seconds. We're at 1 minute 28, and then we're going to push down. So another 5 seconds, and we're going to push down evenly. There's a bit of resistance because we're actually brewing something a bit denser than your normal filter coffee.
So this is quite a strong coffee recipe, isn't it?
Well, it's just condensed. I wouldn't call it that strong because what this method does, it gives you a really creamy coffee. And you can also add milk to it if you so wish. So, now we're going to see how much it actually yields. Okay, so we've taired this again. Remember, I've put 20 grams and 100 milliliters.
Yeah, I think we could probably do a few more.
So you can see the consistency of it.
Just chuck them straight in the box. Yeah.
Nice. Just about fits in here. We've got 81 grams of coffee, of liquid. So you can drink this as it is, or you can just put milk to it if you use a bigger glass that you brew it into. Stop this one.
Fun.
Yes.
You have to give it time.
That's my delicious go-to in the morning.
Yeah.
That's what I do with any of our coffees actually.
Yeah.
This recipe is beautiful. It's very, I wouldn't say forgiving, but it's a recipe that just works with all the range of our coffees.
Yeah.
So we should give it to, Ro?
Yeah, go on.
Ro's busy. She deserves a coffee.
Ro's always busy.
Come on. So.
Oh, thank you.
All right. You can see a bit of oils on the top still. It's beautiful.
Mm,
Wow.
that's really good.
Yeah.